that they're gonna be able to get it though. Infernos and Hex are able to make it back up in time, but Detox needs to be calling. About that. Well, alright, so welcome to fourth showdown in Tower Police. On the red side, we have. Oh, wait a second. On the blue side, Detox, Jinqua, and Underworld.
I just crashed one.
Yeah.
What happened? I can't hear right now.
And on the red side, this week's challenges. Versus People Expert versus CS Expert. I don't know. Well, first ban for Black Feather and Baron. Black Feather. I'm not quite sure what Black Feather's doing. I thought Baron has been devastated past few patches. All the bans to the red side. Oh, Detox on that Idris. The Idris probably goes to Jinqua, who's shown that he's a commit in the last showdown. Inferno picks an Arden and Thief. While Jinqua has locked in once, probably for unheroic to play. So, the Arden and Fox combo. Well, it's this combo is the Disney and it's been Disney since forever. Let's see how it goes. Ooh, the back mistake is coming up. Let's see what Ron thinks. Oh, Taka. This is interesting. Taka. So Taka would probably bolster the early mid game or Fox takes time to catch up. However, you know, she's back, or when she's not again. There's some point. When she's back.
And I'm back.
You're good.
No, you're not.
I'm no longer alone. Oh man. Teams are moving out. Positions. The lane lance. Never seen lane lance in pretty long ago.
Detox and Jinqua are in the jungle. CXS Rome and Inferno Sakura are in the jungle too. Fox is in the lane.
Well, I wonder how the game matchup's gonna be both. Looks like Fox is getting some harass to land. Underworld has no choice to bounce in the tower. Oh, that's huge. Gotta waste some impurge that found a big quick. Both teams well so far. Both probably is even.
Oh, Team Red has placed 9 and Team Blue has placed 9 too.
Oh, in jungle.
Team Blue
What
has
was the
placed 9.
the challenges of the check-in were very cool. Jinqua moving up to the lead. Taka's recalling. Oh, he's getting himself. It's pretty bottom. jungle is very helpful.
You could say this, maybe?
Oh, it's unfortunate you get deeper in that experience. Almost. So, in the name so far, I'm the road in three songs. Specifically for gangs, but when gangs happen, you still need to lane songs.
Because of that.
Jim for taking in those resonance bounces. Perfect. Jim for taking lots of damage from the resonance, throwing backing. And others in the bush. Oh, the impale from unheroic missing Piefman just bad. Only that.
Alright, I like the alpha. I think Cloud9 has it here. Alright, this time, I'm not kidding. We're actually heading on to the Halcyon Fold for realsies. Let's hand it on over to Jaws next calendar.
For realsies this time. Thank you, AJ and the desk. They're not wrong. It's me, Jaws, and I'm joined by the lovely Excalibur. We're into the first best of 3 of this evening from NA, TSM and Cloud9. 2 Titans on the fold now. Boy, I can't wait for this game to be underway. Look at those comps.
I am so privileged to be casting this, you know. I think this is one of the matchups that we expect to be a huge rivalry this year in North American Vainglory. And I'm on board with the analysts. This is such a hard series to call. I'd actually potentially go the other way and say that C9 maybe has more of an advantage. The way that C9 plays, Jaws, is almost like we saw the Korean teams at Worlds play. Very objective focused, less about brawling, playing away from the aggression, more like global objectives win its games, we focus global objectives.
Yeah, well, the Fake Crystal is a global objective, so I guess you take that, you win the game. And
oh, sure, I didn't realise. Thank you for informing me that
no
taking
worries.
the Vain Crystal wins you a game.
I mean, you do videos on this kind of stuff, so I thought I'd give you a hand. Elder Triad is going to get started off by Cloud9, it seems, but they're going straight on to Gabe Bizzle here. Monix actually going really hard. Joseph, I don't think he can actually follow up the damage. Gabe Bizzle going really low. This could be first blood. In fact, it is. And Joseph is going to have to back off here. Flash X from the Lance is going to provide a lot of that support.
Well, you know, Vonsi potentially one of the most aggressive players in the world, let alone in North America. And he's on a hero that is incredibly aggressive, very popular right now coming from the jungle. We've actually seen more sort of Crystal Power Stormcrown glaives because of the utility coming through. But wait a second, Joseph.
Well, there is more action. Vonsi is going to dash away. Joseph did find the tree, and I believe he secured it as well. Flash X is going to be chased away, old school, piling up with a bit of aggression, but it's not going to be anything too exciting just yet. Carry on with your story.
I actually forgot where I got with the story.
Yeah, that's fair. So, I'm going to be honest.
Oh, no, I remember now. Yeah, so we're mainly seeing sort of these CP Stormcrown utility-based blades where they go in more of a cooldown route to get those afterburns to reposition other heroes, reposition key targets, and then the damage comes in a little later on when they're stacked up with the aftershock. Sometimes you see them go alternating current. But this time we're actually going to see Vonsi going down with potentially looks like it is going to be a weapon power glaive here, mainly because we've got this very interesting lane Lyra, so carry Lyra coming out, which is not something that you see huge amounts of. But Best Check NA, definitely one of the best laners in North America, can make it work.
Oh, man. If he's the best, I'm sure he can. Lyra, man, I'm surprised to see it actually let through. In all honesty, we've been saying that obviously yesterday as well, but Lyra in the lane, interesting play. I think it's going to spark a little bit of faith in my lane. Lyra isn't that great. I'm sure it isn't as great as Best Chuck and A's, but I think he'll teach me a thing or two. Now, speak to me about the build you kind of go here.
So you've got alternating current because it just, it functions so well with the fact that you are a basic attack dependent CP carry anyway. Principal and then the alternating current kind of synergizes that as well. But the one issue that CP Lyra will have is the fact that Principal Arcanum does use energy, so you do sometimes end up getting a real drain on your energy source if you're consistently using the base attacks to focus that heroic perk. So that you might see Vestra can probably slot in energy regeneration in there early, but the alternating current kind of makes up for the fact that if you don't have energy, you're still outputting a decent amount of CP damage on those basic attacks.
Yeah, it's a tower taking machine as well, turret taking machine, I should say. Von C is going to walk towards the lane.
That's one. Strike one, George. Every time you say tower instead of turret, I'm gonna remind you.
Strike. 3 times you need to. So doesn't like old school. He's going to get hit up.
Swap
nice,
heroes.
roll in from Flash X. Not rolling in just yet. Just kind of walks into the lane, but he's going to back off now. Obviously, we did see a little bit of the jungle lance. It's not going to be so prevalent in this game. Wow, Joseph going really hard in. Does get knocked into the tower. Nice Gideon wall there by Flash X. No blade to be seen. Like Joseph, I really like the kind of aggression he there because obviously noticing Votnik just completely farming his backs decided to go in.
I'm laughing because you're fairly new to Vainglory, Jaws, and
Yeah.
I can tell you one thing. If there is a player who is known for aggressive play, power dives, potentially pushing things to the absolute limit, I Love Joseph is the kind of player that does that. I mean, if you had to find aggression in the dictionary, there would be a picture of I Love Joseph, probably sat there with his Taka, because he is one of the most aggressive junglers that North America and the world have to offer. So that's why I was chuckling when you were saying, oh, I Love Joseph being so aggressive, because that's just what I know I Love Joseph for.
Well, exactly. Well, I think Alpha's kind of a classic hero for him, right? Just jumping in on the back line, just trying to explode somebody and then just trying to run away after that one. And he seems to be going for a aggressive build as well. Now, with Alpha, I mean, and this kind of thin combination, that is just such a force to not escape from. And speaking of not escaping, 1C is going to go in. Gavis are going really low here. Vestra just dishing out the damage. I Love Joseph here is going to pop the ultimate. Will he be able to jump in? He will not. Massive, now's the time to strike. Joseph
Swap heroes.
Into the wall, funnily enough. Old School is going to have to back away there. Gabe Vizzle as well. The second kill going over to TSN.
So I Love Joseph made a slight mistake there when he channeled the ultimate. I think he was potentially looking for a prime directive, maybe to look for an executing blow onto Von C. One trick that you want to do with an alpha, if you manage to mess up your ultimate, essentially the main thing that you want to achieve is getting into a brush to deny vision from the enemy team. Unfortunately, I Love Joseph died in between brushes, in between both mustache brushes, making him a super easy target to burst down. Had he got into his brush, he might have actually managed to find that infinite reboot off the back of his heroic perk, but unfortunately wasn't able to.
Was not able, did not manage to terminate anybody with a termination protocol either. And that will be down only for the next 10 seconds or so he can happily use that soon.
Actually, the funny thing about termination protocol is 20 to 40% of the time you're looking for it to actually land. And I'll talk about it.
Oh, yeah, that landed. Also, just gets flung into the team and exploded. Vestra is going to pick up that kill. Okay, Vizzle, you're going to have to be careful, buddy. One more auto for Lyra, I think would have done it there. But he doesn't manage to escape within an inch of his life. Joseph is going to come forward as well. TSM, part of the aggression so far.
Yeah, that 1C facilitated Flash X and one of his best heroes as well in the form of the Lance. I love Joseph here. I think just trying to clear waves more than anything, but could get punished.
Oh, yeah, he's going to get really punished. Does pop the termination protocol and just dips behind his own turret. And he is just going to pop back up as well with a passive. See, got it right that time. I said turret, not tower. It's all good. I'm getting there.
Actually, I Love Joseph just highlighted the point that I was trying to talk about just before that fight broke out. That 60% of the time, as sort of an alpha, you might actually end up using your. There might be another fight going on here. I think they might just back off those C9.
Yeah, they should be all right. Joseph does get rooted up. However, there's a lot of damage coming out from Von C right now. Just an afterburn done to tower. Old School didn't even see that coming, but Von C is taking a lot of damage from the tower. That's a massive force to call by Gabe Vizzle. He does pick up Lyra in the end. He definitely deserved that kill. Give him the second one. Go for it now. Old School's going to take it. That was a beautiful ultimate coming through from Gabe Vizzle. Just resulted in 2 kills.
And the Crucible, I think, has just been picked up by Flash. I didn't actually check whether he had that previously, but if he did, he definitely should have been able to land it. So I think he's only just picked it up, but it's a good one now. That shouldn't happen as much anymore. Flash X doing his best to just Gideon all those minions away here, stopping with all of his might. This turret going down. Has he bitten off more than he can chew, Jaws?
Oh, I hope not. I thought he was going to actually kill Old School then. Does end up almost getting himself killed, however. Joseph's going to back off as well, but again, nice counter-aggression from Flash X, just dissuading them from the tower.
Yeah, what you do with the land is you actually Gideon wall the minion wave away from the tower because it knocks them back, and then you just essentially make the enemy team choose between tanking tower shots or trying to take that turret. That turret was nowhere near sort of a level of health where it was going to be going down easily to C9, so basically Flash X saves a lot of damage on that turret, which could come in fairly useful later down the line. So you want to wind back slowly to that tower dive, and it's something that I think C9 finally managed to capitalize on, because TSM had a lot of unchecked aggression this game, and C9 didn't really have a good way to respond. TSM's aggression went a little bit too far, and actually I think a really good job by C9, and especially Gabe Bizzle, to execute on that and actually find their way back in here, because he felt like in these first sort of 7 minutes it was slipping away from C9, but it's leveled out now.
Yeah, with the brilliant force score from Gabe Bizzle, you aren't wrong. See if you can try something again. Really good at landing those. Early infusion as well from Joseph, and I did see a little bit of a discussion on Twitter earlier. I believe it was one of Rogue's members about the early infusions.
Yeah, he's picked it up here. I don't know whether he's going to activate it just now, but this is something that North America has done quite a lot. Sometimes we'd actually see them pick infusions between 8 and 10 minutes, and then get a big fight and go for something like the first turret or something like the gold mine. Well, gold mine's down right now. I think it was TSM that collected that. But C9 could then now go and try and take down the first turret of the game off the back of these infusions, but you've got to find the right fight for it. And it's also about playing around your power spikes, Jaws. Joseph has just hit his Aftershock power spike, so this is a good part of the game where Alpha becomes really powerful. Do you know what makes Alpha even more powerful? Adding an infusion to the mix. Now obviously infusions aren't as good at the very low levels, but he is level 9, so he's going to have a decent output with that infusion. And if he procs it, he's got that, the big power spike of the Aftershock. This could be a fight that C9 run away with.
Yeah, we'll see if they want to pull the trigger. Flash X just gets a chop with the massive scissors to the face. As always, kind of funny, that skin as well. Is that like one half of a pair of scissors, or is it like...
Yeah, it's just one half of a pair of scissors.
Yeah, where's the other half?
I don't know, maybe she didn't need them.
Yeah, clearly not. She does a lot of damage anyway, so we'll just let up Joseph for that one. But Flash X now obviously just driving Cloud9 back. And you mentioned earlier, Cloud9 a bit more of a methodical team. And just kind of waiting for TSM to come to them. It's worked out so far, and that's why I really want to see I Love Joseph just kind of go in with the Termination Protocol and see what he can get done, because that infusion damage is just going to be insane.
It's interesting because Alpha does exactly the opposite of what I think C9 want to achieve. They are going to want to be kiting for Old School, or trying to peel for him rather. Whereas I Love Joseph, you don't really have that option as an Alpha. The only option that Alpha has is I'm going to go ham, I'm going to go in, I'm going to try and kill some people. And therefore you kind of, I think, have a mismatch of what you actually want to achieve here for C9, although, whoa, we've got a tower dive.
Hang on a minute, yeah, give us a second. Old School is going to get flung back. The turret does end up going down. Von C, however, is going to get taken really low. Flash X as well. The light company is going to be used. Beautiful coming through straight from Joseph. Just managed to land it straight onto Flash X. Back away. My goodness, that could be a hard skill shot to land, but he doesn't make it work, and the infusion has been popped as well. They want to go for this one. Joseph's going to jump straight onto Best Juck and A. His turret is not long for this world. This is what you were talking about, Scoundrel, and they do manage to get it. Nice gear the more onto Joseph, dissuading him yet again. Von C, however, is going to have to afterburn away, and then will be Cloud9 again.
Whoa, Joseph! Whoa!
What are you doing? This is so aggressive from him. He does activate Termination Protocol, however, he himself even gets terminated, falls to pieces as well. But the turret's down in the favour of Cloud9 there, but they do try to kill out a turret as well. So, I mean, not worth.
I mean, the turret is absolutely fine. They take the turret, that's a great bit of global gold. I think they'll be fairly happy off the back of that. Also, it kind of keeps them level with TSM too. That was a situation where Joseph probably said to his team, sorry guys, didn't mean to press that. just run away, and they did. I think obviously you saw Von C pick up an infusion as well. So it was a double infusion battle here between Von C's infusion and I Love Joseph's infusion. I've got to be honest though, Vonsi's gone to the Serpent Mask build here on the glaive, giving him a little bit of extra sustain compared to what we generally see, which is the Sorrow Blade. We've got to fight though.
Force to Court does miss, and the goal did go over to TSM. Flash X is in the front line. However, you do got to watch out for Joseph. He's doing so much damage. Termination Protocol is going to go through. Bright Directive does not land. Afterburn away from Vonsi. A nice kidney wall into 2 people, and that will be Joseph going down. TSM just following this fight up perfectly. I say that, and Gabe Bissell almost takes out Best Chuck NA, but he is the last member alive for Cloud9. Gold miner, in fact, helps Best Chuck NA pick up the kill as well. Ace comes through. TSM playing on the forefront of this game, and they're doing a fantastic job just bullying Cloud9.
Oh, it was such a late fountain from Gabe Bizzle. Really, really late fountain. I think it was almost too late. I actually genuinely think C9 might have had as good a chance of actually winning that fight had Gabe Bizzle pressed that fountain maybe 5 to 10, well, not even 10 seconds, 5 seconds earlier. But you've got to give credit to especially Flash X there, repositioning everybody. Great bright bulwark coming up from Best Chuck NA, stopping Alpha from using her core charge. Any of her gap closing abilities. I've got to say, loads of times I've seen teams TSM block the prime directive from I Love Joseph, stopping him getting towards that backline target. There is so many ways to stop I Love Joseph delivering the damage here, and it's really impressive to see TSM do that time and time again.
Yeah, and with that, it just kind of cuts their DPS in half. They just have to rely on Old School to kind of follow that one up and at least get I Love Joseph to actually get into the middle of the fight. Doesn't like TSM just flaring up a little bit, just making sure Cloud9 can't do anything.
I do want to touch on this glaive build, however. It's the Serpent's Mask breaking point here. Now, there is the standard glaive build, which is the Sorrow Blade breaking point. That gives you the most burst damage. It's generally what most people consider the best way to go about this. Why do you think he's going for Serpent Mask? Well, maybe he's wanting to sustain here, especially against something like a Vox who's got great kiting potential. A little bit of extra sustain could be the difference between life or death, and getting another afterburn cooldown off. He's going to go in though.
Oh yeah, afterburn indeed. Old School's going to have to use his little boots to get away from that one, just to make sure he doesn't get caught up. TSM just consistently on this aggression. Flash X is going to go in, not going to lock anybody up, but there we go. I take that back. 2 Gideon walls into the wall. Prime Directive being used yet again, does miss. I Love Joseph, Termination Protocol, doesn't really hit anybody. Vonsi just tanking most of that damage. Old School in the back line, not being able to do anything these fights. Gets taken out by Best Chuck NA, proving he is the best Chuck. Gabe Bizzle is just going to follow the Lyra up through, but he's going to follow it to his death, big scoundrel. Cloud9, yet again being aced.
Yeah, and once you put that aggression down, it doesn't look like C9 have got any way to peel back, and that's what I said about this Alpha pick. It doesn't actually aid C9 in any way. And actually, Alpha finds it very difficult to get to Best Chuck NA because he's got to get through Githian Wall, he's got to get through the Afterburn Stun, he's got to get through Bright Bulwark. I actually think this was a pretty poor pick for the C9 composition. I would have much preferred something that would aid Finn in the peel. Because realistically, the best chance that you have against this TSM composition is allow them to be aggressive, try and peel back from their aggression, and then allow your Vox to just build up those stacks, and then turn around when necessary, when he's got the amount of breaking point stacks. I also want to add about this glaive build, because I find it so interesting, John. I know I'm still talking about it. You've got the Lyra as well. With the Serpent's Mask and the Imperial Sigil, how much sustain is Vonsi going to have in this fight? He is going to be a monster of sustain. And also the fact that both Alpha and Finn are easy targets for him. What he can do is he can afterburn, he can then reposition a target, he can sustain up through Lyra and sustain up through the Finn and Alpha being really easy targets for him to get the basic attacks down, and then survive long enough compared to when he had a Sorrow Blade to get another afterburn off and then try and reposition Old School after a reflex block, or if Old School oversteps. It's a really intelligent build.
It's ridiculous because he survived at least 2 ultimates coming out from I Love Joseph as well. That's something to think about. Best Chuck NA is going to have to be careful. Gabe Bizzle is trying to get on top of him, but Vonsi says not today. Yet again, Joseph just gets popped so early in this fight. Gabe Bizzle going low as well, not being able to really do anything. Does get a stun on a couple of people, however, but the turret is being destroyed. The Kraken is just winning the game for TSM. They are just stalling this one out. Prime Directive not hitting. Joseph needs to be able to follow up with some of this damage. Nice getting wall by Flash X, and still the Kraken is melting their base. However, they do manage to take out Flash X in at the end, but can they do much else? Best Chuck and A is going to take out Olive Joseph. I think this is going to be it. I think TSM are going to take this game off of Cloud9. Get over here, as Jay Fizzle does manage to take out Best Chuck and A. Kraken only just managing to get that crystal to half HP before it gets taken out. But Cloud9, they just don't seem to be able to do anything in these fights.
Had both Von C and Best Chuck NA committed to that fight, I actually genuinely think they could have won there. But you're right, there is nothing that C9 can do, because again, I don't think Finn is enough peel by himself for this Vox, and therefore Vox is becoming a target. Joseph can't do he can't even build up his core overload stacks. So, you know, he's really struggling to even build up his core overload stacks to actually get damage done with the Prime Directive. And again, the only option he has to go in is very poor against things like Lyra and the peel from the Lance. Again, it's coming down to draft for me.
Oh man, I really like this Lyra in the lane, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's working out so well. Obviously Broken Myth has been picked up as well, and even Harvest, didn't even notice that. That's just the amount of damage Best Chuck and A is just putting out in the backline, plus obviously the heals, the Blighted Bulwark as well, to just kind of disrupt Isle of Joseph. I don't think you're wrong at all. Was ever going to disagree with you, my friend, but TSM's draft just looks so strong. What do you think Cloud9 are going to do against this in the next game? That's the question.
What do you think? I think they're going to switch up. If they want to go for the Vox, you have to play a composition around the Vox. I think they've gone for a composition expecting to be able to go all in and allow Vox to feel unchecked and build stacks. But the problem that I have with that specifically is that if you build a composition around Vox and then unfortunately just let Vox leave Vox to his own devices in the back line, he's not going to get the time to build up the stacks. And what this makes this Vox build so powerful, and what makes Vox so powerful in general, is the ability to kite build stacks and then turn around once you've already built 15 to 20 breaking point stacks and you're starting to absolutely rip through the enemy.
And it just doesn't look like they can actually get to that point. Kraken has been unleashed. He's going to be on the side of TSM, and he just seems to get blown up every time he steps a little bit forwards. I mean, Flash X just jumps straight on him. Obviously, Von C just afterburn and then just kind of knocks him away, stuns him up, and then I Love Joseph gets killed in the front line as well. It's just a tough situation with Cloud9. I want to see what they want to do now. TSM are looking for the flank here. Okay, Vizzle is going to use the boots to try and get a bit of vision. Has been spotted out, however. Light Company used on Best Chuck, and 2 on the Kraken, 1 on 2 of the members of TSM. Not the best lineup I can see. Von C is here as well. Okay, Vizzle just kind of caught out in this situation. Out of Joseph and Old School, they're going to have to do something. Prime Directive doesn't hit over the wall. Old School gets bashed in, and straight away afterburned as well. Flash X is coming through, and you can just see Best Chuck and they decides, not for me, not today. I'm just going to try and end the game. Hero is going to be fallen. At least Joseph's going to pick up a kill before the game ends. And that is going to be Excalibur TSM. They're going to take a game off Cloud9. What a dominating series from them. Or game, it's not series.
Absolutely, and it was all from that early aggression. They put a lot of pressure onto Isle of Joseph. He never managed to play around that aftershock power spike that the Alpha can play around in the mid game. And unfortunately, the Alpha didn't really make that much sense for me either.
Yeah, and we'll have to see what they're going to do in this next game. I mean, are they going to change up the drafts? Because it seems that they're going to have to. Are they going to ban away Lyra? That's the question. We'll have this all broken down. AJ, take it away on the desk. Me and Excalibur will see you guys very soon.
Thank you very much, guys. Man, what a game. Jaws, you almost got me, man. Huge pick for Best Chuck.
We know that if Vox is left open, the Cloud9 is probably going to pick it up, right? And what they have done here essentially is, Flash went back to the drawing board, realized, Lyra was played in that lane position before. I have a laner that can do it. What is she good at? Well, massive range. A little bit of slow if you're able to get that second shot off. And that really hurts Vox.
And I mean, if you're building her as Chris Valkyrie, it changes from a little bit of slow to a lot of bit of slow. But now we're going to have Cloud9 getting that Lyra. And just like you said, if the Vox is open, TSM is going to take it. They do that here, and now the Lyra goes over to Cloud9.
And one of the things also to keep in mind, TSM has done this in the past, where they find a way to make a hero work in different ways, and other teams then put the priority on it, and TSM will back off of it, and they have a plan to deal with that.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's one of the things that I feel like Cloud9 has to be wary of. They're going to ban away the Krull Not wanting to let Von Seek get his hands on that. Glaive going to go out the window as well. So two pretty big junglers there.
I like the Glaive man.
Yeah, absolutely. Koshka going to come through, though. I love Joseph on a Koshka. This is his style of jungler.
What do you do to match this, though? Because you've removed Kroll and Glaive, right? Those are things that you kind of
Black Feather.
put in the same area. Black Feather? That could
I
work.
like it. I would like a Black Feather
Into
here.
Lyra though?
I feel like it can still work. Again, the Bright Bulwark, while it does disrupt Black Feather quite a bit, it doesn't last that long. We've seen teams fight around the Bright Bulwark with other picks, and I feel like
Grab the Lance here. That would work as well.
Lance is actually really good in Koshka.
And Lancer Finn here probably. Maybe the Lance over the Finn. Just because the Finn is so slow moving. Koshka can,
Run circles around
yeah,
him.
just run circles around him, and your jungler, your carry, whoever you're trying to protect will eventually outrun you.
How do you turn up the pressure if you pick Lance, though, into a Lyra? You're going to struggle to get, roll into that Bright Bulwark and tail into it. If you pick up Finn, you're saying, I don't care about your Bright Bulwark, you're coming to me.
Yeah, it's tough. I think it's hard to execute on the Finn the same way with Lyra, though, because, it essentially eliminates you going on Lyra as a target. Sometimes you can actually, hook in the captain, the roamer, and kill them and then go from there. But with Lyra, you pull her in and she's going to arcane passage out immediately, so it's hard to follow up on that. And if someone else gets pulled in, you can throw in a sigil where the quiver is probably going to come from.
Yeah, could also potentially see a Fortress come through. We get a little bit of the extra move speed. I doubt it, but it's one of those picks that could be one of those outside picks, because both Team Sullivan and Cloud9 have a tendency to kind of go for those, but it is going to be the Finn and the Alpha coming through.
I really like the Alpha. I feel like Cloud9 last game, especially towards the beginning and middle, nearly made that work. And TSM saying, you can't make that work. We're going to pick it. Jewel from Cloud9. We saw a lot of this earlier on today in Europe. Cyclone on Waldemar, for those of you who missed it. Very impressive showing for Jewel, actually.
And having the Koshka very likely means it's going to be another weapon-powered Jewel. So we'll see if Cloud9 can make it work the same way Waldemar did. Some pretty high standards to live up to, though.
This is an aggressive jump in, dive your face composition, too. I mean, really, we talk about it all the time, but Jules Feast or Famine, as you put it, your passive means that you're only really at full force when you're going forwards. So
yeah, you don't want to be backing up. And another thing is, with a Ringo, you can go ahead and rocket leap. It's pretty easy to go ahead and hit that. If Vox sees it coming, he's just going to give you a little sonic zoom. Whoop.
That's a good point. And